Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. Ought to understand that anybody that motivates that degree of insane, presumably shouldn't have escaped the dating stage. When they were in the middle of celebrating with the Martin, then they exchanged over from the Martins to imprint Anthony and Jennifer Lopez. And afterward, the kiss occurred on Hawthorne. Her show got dropped. Blemish and Jennifer separated. This was all going on like these be doing each of these wild things. They ain't doing as much, I surmise now, since they're aging. I'm not saying that since I'm not saying that due to their trans little girl. I'm saying that due to the craftsmen that I just addressed quite recently that got welcomed to a party at their home. Everything was cool front and center till they went to the back, and it was a lot of olding and little fellows back there all ass exposed in the swim house. So I think that it is entertaining that Gabrielle staying there, discussing buoy perhaps you dubious of him cause of that is occurred in your home out. Of here, you also it seems as though Gabrielle Association is out for vengeance, since she just presented her prospective ex-Dwayne Swim for being gang on the DL. Dwayne Swim, as of late, got uncovered for undermining Gabrielle once more, and she is by all accounts attempting to get her lick back by spilling as much tea as possible. She seems to have at long last confirmed his gay charges, and listen, it is a ton of tea to spill. I bombed enormously. I flopped freely and I fizzled at Blemish. Okay, so I'm going need you all to get on in the room and come and get this tea genuine fast, since it seems as though we are at long last beginning to get greater lucidity on the Gabrielle Association and Dwyane Wade relationship or situationship. Now the roads have been discussing their separation for some time now, and considering what turned out badly well, it resembles we at long last have the solution to that, since insiders are currently now announcing new data saying that the marriage crashed on the grounds that Dwayne Swim has been throwing it around with the Mennies, and Gabrielle is wary of concealing for him presently bits of gossip about the Dwyane Wade undermining Gabrielle are the same old thing, since it goes way back to when they initially began dating one of his various side pieces spilled the tea in those days, saying I also have what is happening with Dwayne, can't lie. He is perfect in bed, yet I most certainly wouldn't take him serious. Lie the manner in which Gabrielle does he lap yes down with and flies honeybees out constantly. They like to act like they are Michelle and Barack when truly things are not what they appear. She proceeded with each time some sort of tattle comes out, they need to show up to show the media how genuine they are. He's engaged with numerous young ladies, and that is no doubt, and everybody that arrangements with him knows this. Either Gabrielle knows this and couldn't care less, or she is acting ignorant, which I find hard to accept. Well, it just so happened. Dwayne was cheating with ladies, as well as clearly he was cheating for certain men's too. There have been tales about Dwayne being on the arrangement for quite a while, yet no one truly paid a ton of consideration regarding what is going on. I mean, he was hitched to a lady before he even began dating Gabrielle, and in any event, when he and Gabrielle separated, he wound up getting another person pregnant, and a couple of months, however calm as his feline supposedly, he was just involving the ladies. As facial hair conceal reality. Currently, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that he didn't cherish the ladies too eventually, on the grounds that I figure he could like the two of them and simply love ladies in his own specific manner, yet his primary goal was to safeguard his mystery. Presently, fans have seen something pretty fascinating about these two. Currently recall when they separated and he had a separation child on her. Well, years after the fact, Gabrielle talked about how harmed she was by his activities, saying it ought to be obvious that we were not in a decent spot at that time that the kid was considered, yet we were improving. When he at last educated me regarding the pregnancy, to say I was crushed is to pick a word on a low rack for comfort. There are people groups outside Dares I won't ever meet who have been disturbed that I have not recently discussed that injury. I have not had words, and surprisingly, after untold measure of treatment, I don't know I have them currently, yet individuals have consistently contemplated how unusual it was that she took him back after the break child. Yet there's this new hypothesis circumventing that Gabrielle chuckled him when she figured out that he was gay, yet when he had a child, he had the option to persuade her that it was of the misunderstanding and that he was truly straight, and that is the reason she took him back. It likewise can sort of make sense of why they got hitched a couple of months after they reunited, and individuals are currently saying that Dwayne was attempting to inspire her to secure it before she could adjust her perspective. Presently, certain individuals likewise accept that he could have been set out purposely to have the child just to persuade Gabrielle, and that it was anything but a Chap like he guaranteed I really intend. What are the chances? Well, fans have seen that he and Gabrielle scarcely recognize the kid whose name is Xavier currently. There's a ton we can say about Dwayne, however it's not possible for anyone to reject that he's an extraordinary dad, well, essentially two. His 3 different children, that is. He's a granddad to his different youngsters. And he has even done battle for Zia now. Zia is a trans high schooler lady, and many individuals appear to generally dislike this, yet Dwayne has shown tremendous help for her. He, in a real sense, got a legal dispute with his ex just so Zia could be free to articulate her thoughts any way she prefers, yet when it came to Xavier, it's simply cricket now before you all accompany the reason that he presumably could do without Xavier's mother, so he disregards the kid. Let me stop you not too far off first. He and Xavier's mother were companions for quite a long time before she got pregnant with Xavier. Likewise, he, in a real sense, can't stand the guts of his most memorable spouse, Javon Fudges, and he keeps on appearing 100% for their 2 children together, so it doesn't actually accumulate in addition to have a child of comfort. It just checks out for him to pick a long-term companion as the child mother. Right, well, like I said, fans are presently persuaded that Gabrielle had her doubts, yet he figured out how to persuade her to remain with the crushed child, and they got spirit together, and for quite a while fans view at them as a definitive illustration of dark love in Hollywood. I mean, they were both very fruitful, and they appear to be joyfully enamored. So what's the worst that could happen? Right, well, for reasons unknown. There was a ton that could turn out badly, like the time Gabrielle let the cat out of the bag in a meeting that they split their bills directly down the center 50/50. It's strange to say, I'm head of family cuz in this family we split everything 50/50, yet in different families that everyone of us have to help. It puts this, there's generally this like gorilla on your back that resembles you better work. You better work now. This are individuals a wide range of the incorrect way in light of the fact that Dwayne clears a path more cash than Gabrielle. Her total assets is about $40 million. While he is valued at $170 million, making him multiple times richer. So it's sort of confounding why they're doing this entire 50/50 split thing, when in all reasonableness, he ought to be paying more give and take. He pay whole, yet assuming you feel that is odd, well, it goes from terrible to worse on the grounds that Dwayne spilled Morty in the meeting. It turns out Gabrielle was the person who pushed for the equivalent split, all since he said something during a warmed contention that didn't agree with her wet chose together in light of the fact that I assume I said one time we was in Miami, I expressed something about it being my home, that I paid for my significant other took a gander at me, she resembled you one. T ever express that to me from now on when it's something that we share, thus my significant other was like that. When we moved to LA, I got half on it. You won't ever say my home from now. Wow, goodness, and you all expertise. I said that fans accept that he had a child to persuade her that he wasn't gay. It just so happens Gabrielle actually felt a little skeptical since she took extraordinary measures to bring in certain that her cash was, and attached with his for the principal several years of that marriage. In a meeting, she said the greatest distinction among this and the last marriage will be a prep and my demand. When you have your own stuff, you don't have to stress over any other person's stuff, so everybody ought to go into the relationship knowing I'm hanging around for yourself and you're hanging around for myself, and actually I've never seen the way balance a checkbook, so I got to safeguard my stuff. It's the method representing things to come, not the method representing things to. Oh, come. Don't you put that shrewd on me. Ricky Bobby, our prenups are forever, is a brilliant approach. Yet it's not what she said. It's the way she said it. Individuals viewed this as a peculiar piece, yet it was nothing compared with the shockwave that moved throughout us when Panther W spilled some tea about how Dwayne was on the down and how he